Two former Miami Heat players and NBA legends speak out on their disliking for non-Miami Heat players having their jerseys hung up in the Miami Heat arena. Also, Jaime Jaquez Jr. is being massively disrespected once again early in this NBA season. And finally, a recap of Miami Heat's dominating win over the Golden State Warriors, all on this episode of Heat Digest. So what two NBA legends speak out, Miami Heat legends that is? Well, the one and only Shaquille O'Neal was the first. He basically spoke out on the big podcast talking about how Michael Jordan and Bill Russell have never played for the Miami Heat. Why would the Miami Heat honor them in such a way of hanging their jerseys up in the rafters like a banner of a championship win or a conference final win, saying Michael Jordan ain't never played for the Heat, Bill Russell ain't never played for the Heat, and then he went on to say that I never did like that and how they did do that and honoring them in that type of fashion. There's other ways to honor these players rather than hanging their jerseys in the rafters. The second legend, the Miami Heat legend, was Udonis Haslem on the OG podcast hosted by Haslem and Mike Miller. This episode put out just 3 days ago had a special guest of Bam Adebayo on it, and they got into a conversation of how Bill Russell, his jersey, is hung up in the Miami Heat arena. Haslem had some choice words about this, saying, and I quote, F Bill Russell, and then that he went on to repent that comment due to Bill Russell obviously passing away, and then he would, and another quote from from Udonis Haslem was, it was more about the Celtics in the moment, and it makes sense. If you understand the context, you understand Udonis Haslem, he doesn't play around, he's a very physical and very emotionally invested person, especially a basketball player. He played basketball for 22 years for the Miami Heat. He is Miami Heat culture. He that's who he is. And the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat are not best buds. They are rivals. They've been rivals for a long time. They're in the same conference. Whenever we want to get to the championship, it seems like the Boston Celtics are one of the number one options in our way in order to get there, and vice versa. We're in their way, and we give them big problems as they give us big problems year after year. Now, and that's really what Haslem was talking about. Yes, F the Celtics. He wasn't meaning, he wasn't trashing Bill Russell as a person or anything like that. It was just the fact that he wears Celtic green, and he never wore the Miami Heat red, and he never played for the Miami Heat. He was never a part of the organization. So why would we honor him in that fashion? When the Miami Heat play, whether it be the preseason, the regular season, or the postseason, there is no love lost. There is no love to be had. It's a physical and emotional game, and it's not only the players invested, but the organizations and the fans around them that are very heavily invested into their teams and organizations, hoping for the failure and demise of the opposer. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a competitive game of basketball, and that's what it is. So if you guys could let me know in the comments what you guys think about either of their comments and just the overall idea of it. If you were a part of the organization, would you want Bill Russell and Michael Jordan's jersey being hung in the rafters of an organization they never played for, never contributed to? Let me know down in the comments what you think. But now let's get to Jaime Jaquez Jr. being massively disrespected once again in this season. So I say he's being disrespected. I talk about Jaquez a lot. And there's no fault in what I'm saying. As here are the Rookie of the Year power rankings, if you will, the ladder. Chet has not moved from the first spot as the OKC is rolling. Victor Wembanyama has taken back the second spot from Jaquez as Jaime Jaquez Jr. has dropped down to the third spot once again. I said this the last time I brought up this image from the last power rankings that they had. It's going to change a lot from 1, 2, and 3. I feel like they're just constantly going to be switching in and out depending on the performance from the night prior, which is totally okay. But Jaquez over his last 10 games has been significantly better than these current numbers right here, as he's averaged almost 14 points this season, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, while shooting 51% from the field. But what this doesn't tell you is over his last 10 games, he's averaging 17 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, while playing 34 minutes of basketball. As a rookie, as a 22-year-old rookie, you can't ask for much more than that. He is playing his role. He's doing exactly what we look for him to do. He makes tough shots. He shoots a high percentage. He makes the correct pass. He's able to bring the ball up and down the floor when it's needed to. He plays great defense. He never backs down from a challenge. As when we played Philadelphia, he accepted the challenge with Tobias Harris, as he was basically the number one option when Tyrese Maxey couldn't get anything going and they didn't have Joel Embiid. He was there step for step. Yes, he gave up some baskets, but none of those baskets were easy for Tobias Harris. He was always contending and always defending effectively. And then in last night's game, which we'll get to right now, as we rolled over the Golden State Warriors, Jaquez simply did it again, rolling and playing a great brand of basketball for the Miami Heat, adding 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal in 39 minutes played for a rookie. Again, a rookie, a 22-year-old rookie. 7 of 15 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Playing great stuff in the 2 position, the shooting guard position, despite Jimmy Butler not being there with a calf injury for the 4th straight game. Along with Jaquez, we had Tyler Hero with a great performance, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, while shooting 10 of 18. Bam Adebayo had a great game, an all-around game like he normally has. 17 points, 11 boards, 4 assists while shooting 7 of 13 from the field. I will say the outlier for the Miami Heat, despite it being a collective effort, were 2 players. Jamal Cain, who played 28 minutes off the bench, shooting 7 of 14, including 2 of 5 from 3. He added 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Great stuff for Jamal Cain. He'll probably earn himself more minutes, especially if we do have some injury at the 3, 4, and 5 positions. And then finally, Nikola Jovic, our rookie, our second-year player who didn't play a lot last year. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 4 of 5 from the field in just 20 minutes of basketball. It felt like the first time we've seen him play all year long, and it was a great outing from him in a dominating win over the Golden State Warriors. It was our 4th straight victory overall, our first win in a 5-game road stand. Tonight we play Utah at Utah, obviously, and then we go to the Lakers, then the Clippers, and then finally we close out with the Phoenix Suns before going back home for a 2-game homestand. Overall, a great performance by the Miami Heat. Can't wait for tonight's game against Utah. We should win in dominating fashion as Utah is struggling. As long as we can contain Markkanen, I feel like we will be just fine. I can't wait to see what you guys think about the jersey situation and hanging Michael Jordan and Bill Russell's jersey in our rafters. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video covering the recap after our dominating win, calling it now, over the Utah Jazz. Alrighty, have a great one. Thank you for watching. And remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Heat.